You have a very good point there. When you have a pet, it is a lot of responsibility. Almost like having a child. You know, if your child gets sick, what do? You take him to the doctor. When your animal gets sick, what do? You should do, anyway, is take him to the vet. You tell your child to brush your teeth. In the case of owning a dog, every so often you should take them to the vet to have their teeth cleaned. There's a lot of responsibility there. I think a lot of people don't realize that, and they go get a pet and they kind of let it go, but you can't do that. You got to take care of that pet. Oh, hi there, everybody, and welcome to the town of the Children's Corner, located in the world of the magical couch. I'm Sheriff Stephen J., the Sheriff of Slouch County, and today I have with me a very, very, very old friend of mine. Well, I don't mean it that way. I mean, he's old, but he's not. Anyway, I mean, I've known him for a very, very, very long time. And his name is Ted. And Ted just retired. So I have an opening right now. I need a deputy. So I offered him a job to be my deputy. And he graciously accepted. So he's my new deputy sheriff. But what's interesting about Ted is what he retired from. And that would be...
I did animal control services.
Animal control services. That's right. And what exactly did you do? What were your responsibilities in this job?
That was everything from cleaning shelters, feeding dogs and cats and other strange critters that we got, to enforcing laws for animal abuse, rescuing animals that were lost, relocating wild animals, got into the wrong places at the wrong time, all that kind of stuff.
Well, tell me, when you first got on the job and you first went out, what was one of the first things you can think of that you encountered?
I had a little boy come into our shelter one day with a pet snake. Unfortunately, the pet snake had passed away.
I see.
He was in tears. He was crying.
Oh.
I felt so guilty, so horrible. I tried snake CPR.
Snake CPR?
Yeah.
What is snake CPR?
You have a little mask you put over the mouth and nose of the snake. You do rescue breathing. You do compressions on the heart just to get the blood flowing and try to bring the animal back to life. Also early on we had a call that I didn't realize how irresponsible people could be. My career, as you knew, was in the middle of the desert. We have coyotes, like most places. Unfortunately, a person took their dog down into a wash, let it run for a little bit free, got attacked by a coyote.
Wow.
Yeah, so what we did was we would go out, we would grab the dog, rescue it, take it to a veterinarian, get it treated, lecture the owner on being a better person and more responsibility. And of course, she got her dog back and she enjoyed the dog for the rest of its life. That was never a big thing. Early on in my career was we had a soft-shell turtle that's in the desert. Turtles have water.
That's right.
Turtles are streams, not in the middle of a desert.
So somebody brought something in that didn't belong in that habitat.
Right.
And then let it go or it got away or whatever.
Yes, and we had to rescue it. We had it for a couple of weeks before we could find somebody to relocate it to where it actually deserved to be. So since we couldn't take care of it properly, we gave it to a zoo to take care of.
So relocation. So you actually relocate animals.
Yes, a bear that came down into the city doesn't belong there, it belongs up in the National Forest. I had to tranquilize the bear. Once it was tranquilized, we were able to go ahead with some assistance and get it put back up into the forest where it could wake up from the tranquilizer and wander between the trees.
After you're gone.
Yes, very much after we were gone and a good distance away, I might add. We've done baby hawks, baby birds. In the desert, it gets too hot as they're learning how, the fledglings are learning how to fly, they drop like rocks. I left animal control services. I went to our local airport where I played a law enforcement officer, or Leo, for 10 years. They disbanded our program that we were at, and I went back to animal control services.
So you went back to animal control.
Yep.
So actually, so you did 8 years animal control. Then you did 10 years as law enforcement officer, which, look at you, you're perfect. I'm like, I don't even have to train you. Not that I train anybody anyway, but if I had to train you, I don't have to train you. And so then they disbanded, and then you went back into the old job.
Yeah, for me, going back, I was a little rusty, of course. Took a little time to get back in and ease myself into it, but I also started working more doing the investigations of animal abuse, doing education with the children to teach them how to approach animals safely. There are animals that, because they're hurt, they're injured, become nasty, scared, frightened.
Right.
And while you're trying to help them, you get bit.
Ooh, have you ever got bit?
Unfortunately, yes.
Really? Where'd you get bit at?
I took a bite on my left arm and it was several bites at one time, down from my elbow to my fingertips.
You have to really be careful with these animals because if it's a strange dog or a cat and, oh, look at the cute kitty or whatever, but you don't know. So you got to be careful. You just go up to them and, hey, kitty, all of a sudden, oh.
We've had people bring in a kitten that was only a few weeks old. We were told it's a vicious cat.
So you did have somebody bring in a vicious cat.
Yeah, it was all about that big.
Okay, well, vicious
was,
little cat. Okay.
Yep.
A kitten then, a little kitten.
It didn't go over very well because it was a little kitten that was scared. It was lost its mommy. And I opened my shirt and put it inside, closed my shirt, where it calmed down because it could hear my heart beating. The person who thought it was vicious thought I was making fun of him.
And what about the cruelty thing? I hate to talk about that type of thing, but what exactly?
Animal cruelty is probably the worst part of the job. And that's, you see a lot of things that you would never believe somebody would do to a pet.
Really?
We've had people house their pet in a pen. That's not a big thing. However, this pen happened to be the same as the trash pile that they threw their trash from the house in. That's what the dog was living in. That's what the dog was eating. We've had people who failed to groom their dogs. So it might be popular for dreadlocks in public. Not on dogs or cats to where...
You're kidding.
No, it'll pull the fur away from the skin. And eventually what you have is open wounds that get infected and festering. We've had people that failed to feed their dog. German Shepherd that we had, just the sweetest, most loving dog in the world. Full grown, should have been 110 pounds. We picked her up weighing 1/3 her body weight. Some of the other things, people like exotic pets.
Really?
How about a Texas alligator snapping turtle?
Whoa!
That weighed over 30 pounds and was almost 16 inches in diameter on the shell.
So I'm assuming that turtle was not indigenous.
Nope.
Or, in other words, it didn't belong in the environment where you were working at, and it had to go back. You took it back to
I
where
did
it
not
belonged.
take it back personally, but found a friend who happened to have family in Texas and took the turtle back there to be relocated and hopefully live out its next 60 years of life. We relocated other animals, the snakes and all those. And while doing things, we came across in our city a 24-year-old pot-bellied pig that somebody had. That ended up being relocated into a farm. Hoarders are another issue.
You have hoarders? People hoard animals?
Yes.
Well, tell me about the hoarders.
This is a little bit of a different issue. They feel that they are the most responsible person to take care of these animals, but they collect and collect and collect.
Well, tell me about one of the places that you actually went into.
One of the places that we did was we removed 72 cats from a studio apartment.
How bad are these hoarding places? I mean, I've heard some of them are like, it's bad to breathe the air.
Yes, some of them are bad to where we have to go in not only wearing traditional hazardous material suits, but even occasionally we look like the firemen going in with wearing an oxygen mask and tank on our back because the fumes of feces and all that are just so...
And the animals are inside here.
Animals are in there, they're living, they're breathing that squalor is the easiest way to put it.
Well, Ted, you've had quite the interesting career. Amazing career. All that law enforcement experience, not only in animal control, but with people as well. So I look forward to having you on this department. I have to ask you this. Now that you're retired, do you miss it?
Yes, you do. You actually miss the little fun things, the little baby animals and the children that go with this.
Oh. Okay. That's better. I'm going to leave here, and then I guess you start in a few minutes, and I guess your first job, I have you working at the sheriff office. But anyway, no offense, but I have things to do. I have an appointment up in the world up above, and it's with a shelter, actually.
Okay.
Thank you for coming by and saying hello before your new shift, and I look forward to working with you.